Howdy y'all, Moglox Lives. I think it's time to play a little Minecraft. Alright. Um, yeah, I slept in the slept in the farmhouse last night. I've been playing a little bit today on here. Uh, Probably could have spent a little more time on here, but I'm still enamored with Autonauts. I'm loving that game. Um, but yeah, so I got the gray concrete in place. Um, so I need to unload some of this dye stuff. I don't need to be carrying dye stuff around with me. Still, oof, I've had this cold most of the week. It's shift, buddy. It's shift. There you go. And, but I think it's finally starting to head in the direction I want, maybe. That being gone. That's the direction I want for this cold, is for it to be gone. I would just like to stop waking up in the mornings with terrible headaches from the sinus pressure. Okay, so here we go. I would like. I think. I think stone bricks might be what I'm gonna go with. I'm not sure. I gotta figure this thing out. I've got some smooth stone, which might look alright as well. I guess I want to see. I don't think they added other recipes for smooth stone. Let's find out though. Let's find out. It might be interesting. So I I I guess we got a little farther in our online D&D game, which I'd like to talk about on here. And so over the last week, they had followed the assassin into the hospital. They didn't know she was there, and most of the rules for her were really good. You know, these bees are everywhere now, and I don't understand why they're here and not back by their hive. Like, I feel like they're looking for a hive now. So I don't know if their hive is too full of honey or something. Like, I don't know how bees work, but oh man, putting the roof on these places has made it black inside. I might need to put some lights in the windows, which I might like the way that brightens the place up, maybe. Aw, shoot. I took out all that stuff. I forgot. I actually have a hole in this roof. Man. I don't know why I use black concrete. Nobody's ever going to see it. I guess maybe, not black concrete, but gray concrete. I guess maybe from the top of that building over there when we get back to work on it. Oh, and this doesn't help me because I wanted to look at recipes before I did this. Ooh, I didn't think I was going to make that. But yeah, so they they had met with people at the medics in my post-apocalyptic game, and the medics are a group. They're not like medics. I mean, they are medics. They're doctors. Um, but it's the name um, for all of them as a group. Oh, so we got no fuel here. Oh, look, I had a whole stack of great concrete right here. So I can at least fill that hole in when I figure this out. I'm gonna pull you out of here because I don't. I just want to cook up this stone and take a look at recipes for smooth stone. Thank you. I know smooth stone's got like the outlines around it, which might not look too. Yeah, it just makes slabs. Yep. So there's no stairs or anything cool like that. So not what I'm looking for this particular build. So I'm gonna go ahead and uh, go with the brick. At least to start with, I'll do brick across the front here, and I'll see if I like it or not. I won't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I thought about um, I thought about going with stairs, but let's just put this across the front here. Okay, and maybe maybe we'll try like just a little like whoops, not what I wanted to do there. Just a little bit of shape here. I'm gonna leave it off on this end, and that way I can see what I like. I feel like something's wrong with the game, and I'm not taking fall damage. My armor is broken except for my chest and legs, so I should be taking fall damage, but I haven't actually. Maybe I should find a mob. When it gets dark, I'm gonna let something hit me, but I definitely am not. You know, I don't know. Do I like it with the crenellations on top or not? Um, hmm. The the other thing that I was thinking of was maybe I take slabs here and that doesn't get me inside. Hunger's definitely working, but I am not taking fall damage, and I will show you after this next part. But so yeah, so they went and they talked to the people because someone is damaging things, and the what if I do like that instead of the crenellations? I feel like the crenellations make it too tall. But yeah, see, no damage. Like, am I in? I've got no, I've got no cheats on this game. What are we kidding here? Uh, uh, Here. Make sure I'm in the right game mode. Uh, Whoops. Yeah, there's no fall damage. That's so weird. It's so weird to me. There's no fall damage. All right. Ooh, yeah. I definitely like the stairs with the slab on top a lot better than the crenellation. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to that. I like that. Hey, buddy, I need you to come down here and shoot me. Oh man, you know what? It was hilarious. I didn't look to see if he's still there. Um, I was working on that building over there, and I turned and I looked, and there's a llama standing on top of the building. The trader had come by or spawned in, whatever it is that traders do. I'm not exactly sure. And his llama was on top of the. Oh, I was gonna let. Oh, dang it! I didn't get it fast enough. Maybe I can. I remember getting set on fire earlier. Quick, don't die. Hit me. Hit me. Oh, yep. I definitely took damage. Okay. Oh man, those dang creepers. And all right. So I need to make up some stuff here. Uh, okay. I want bricks. I need the bricks actually, but let me have some steps with some of these bricks. Hey, hey! I already did the test. Thanks. I didn't need anybody else's input. Just fall damage is broken. So while they were talking to the person, I did a bunch of rolls, and I mean some stuff I just narratively say happened, but I like to roll when it's someone they're competing against, and not just say that it happened. And that way, um, you know, things happen. And so, like for example, oh, you know what? I totally didn't get slabs. Shoot. At least I got no fall damage to bother me. Um, so I roll and I roll really good for stealth, and but then when it came time to hack the door, uh, she rolled really bad, and so she set off the alarms, and so she had to detonate her one of her EMP weapons to get the door open, and later decided she didn't get the door open. Instead, she went through the IT closet that she discovered and uh, went through some tunnels that were in the building um, for IT purposes. And so they rushed down, and it was dark, and so I'm using one of the new classes that they have these things called UAs, which are like um, uh, unearthed arcana, and they're like uh, potential new additions to the game that they're testing, and so they put them out for public testing. And so they got this new wildfire druid that I wanted to try. It's a lot like a class I was trying to piece together myself because I really like summoners, and the game doesn't really have one um, unless you cast a spell, and the spell is dumb. And so I really wanted a summoner, and I based it off of a druid. And so now they've got this new druid that's a summoner of a fire spirit. And so I've been trying that out because we need a replacement for the people who refuse to play the game. And so I like rubbing that in with my DM on Wednesday nights because he runs a live game that we do on Wednesday nights, and he wanted to join my play-by-post game, which is done in Discord, and then never posted in it. I mean, he did, but I'd have to ask him in real life to take his turn, and so I kicked him out. And so I like telling him that we're moving along pretty good. Man, I used to have a lot of time talking about this D&D game. Anyways, they got down in there, and then the one guy sends me a message like, "Did I just kill the group?" Because he realized after they engaged the assassin that she had killed a bunch of people, and so then they tried to follow her in the tunnels, but she's way faster than they are. Not because of anything special. The thief in the party is just as fast as she is, but um, uh, she uh, she used a flashbang to stun her, the thief in the group, and so she couldn't follow after for a whole turn. A whole turn is 90 feet, which is a long ways in D&D. Oh yeah, I like that. I still think I'd like to put something around the middle. Did you just see that arrow hit me from the opposite side that the skeleton was from? Or maybe I just... No, it did. Look at it. Why? How did you shoot me on the other side? And you're going to kill me. I don't have any armor on. I'm an idiot. Oof. Do do do. Do 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 do. Okay. I forgot to put my armor back on. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea. Uh, Obviously it wasn't. Okay. I'm gonna leave that stuff in there. I can actually get over. Um, I don't know if I have enough stone here for what I'm doing. I'm gonna have to go back to my base. But they couldn't catch her, and so she's gotten away, and so that turned out pretty fun, I thought, for this week's play sessions so far. The other D&D game that I'm currently in is the one run by my DM who refused to participate, and I kicked him out of my other game. And we're it went okay. Nothing major happened really in the game. I was a little surprised at how easily we got through this dungeon. I imagined it to be bigger, but it really was tiny, and so we blew through the dungeon, and yeah, look at that. I did not have enough of nothing, and so it was interesting. There's a guy being tortured, and we basically this is the language my DM employs every time something happens, and he says, "Oh look, there's the llama on the roof. I told you, I wasn't joking. There he is, llama on the roof. He's back. That's a roof llama. It's a Christmas Day miracle." And so he's after we're done for the evening, after having gone in and rescued the guy, he's like, "You guys are lucky you managed to kill that guy so fast because he's a caster and he would have taken you out." Because that's his goal, is to murder us as fast as possible. He has no interest in the story of the game, as far as I can tell, and uh, I really don't know much about this particular adventure. I was running it for people, but they also opted to stop responding, and I haven't really been pushing them to, because honestly, I don't care if that game continues with them. It's too much of a hassle to always have to go to people to be like, "Hey, remember that game you said you wanted me to run for you? Well, you need to take your turn." And like it's annoying. So I guess if you don't want to take your turn, even though I feel like it's rude because there are other people who are playing who keep sending me messages, "Are we still doing this? Because I'd really like to play this." I'm like, nope, sorry, bud. You are you're out of luck. You'll just have to be satisfied. Uh, oh no, you know what I did was I took the guys who wanted to play in the one campaign that people weren't responding in, and I kicked out people who weren't responding in the other game, and I moved the guys who wanted to play in with the other guys who wanted to play, and so now we're running that other campaign with the people who actually want to play, and I just don't do anything for the people who don't want to play. Uh, it's weird though to ask someone to do something and then to decide you don't want to do it, but don't tell anybody, so everybody's just left waiting to find out. I don't know. And yeah, so things are going pretty good on that end. I did want to talk about. Oh man, there's like I've burned through so much time talking about that first D&D thing. So I want to talk about my DM. One of the things that happened this week in the D&D world was they released a new book, and so uh, the new book has some new stuff in it. Obviously, otherwise, why would you release a new book? But one of the things that it's got in it is it's got the official version of a class that my DM is running in the game that he is running for us. He's playing a character on the team in the game that he is running, and it's it's a it's a delicate balance to be able to do that. I feel, and so I've done it a few times, and you have to be really careful because you don't want to take charge and you don't want to give information that people otherwise wouldn't have, and you gotta try not to make the game about you. And my DM on Wednesday nights, he likes to have the game be a lot about him, and so it can be really annoying. And so one of the things that he talked to me for an hour this week about the new book because there was some stuff in it that he liked. Because he already decided he was going to play this new class, and so he was using the UA version, the beta playtest version, and so he said he'd just switch it over when the official version came out. And so I don't know how much changes actually occurred. Oh no, I forgot. This is what I needed. I got other stuff, and then at least I can make this in my inventory. I don't have. Oh, oop, oop. That's the wrong block. And so they got a new thing in there, and it's um. Oh, so there's a couple of new things that came about. One of them was they released a UA. Ooh, this might be too close together. Maybe not. It might be fine. I don't know. It seems like no. Okay, there's a space. I was like, ooh, it's gonna be like touching the balcony, but no, it doesn't. And so they added these variant rules, and so he's all excited about these variant rules. And so they're just small changes, major changes, but small changes. Like some of the classes, when you play them, they can't change out their spells. So when you go up a level and you get to choose new spells, they have to choose their spells and then they're stuck with them. And so the new variant rule says they can change out a spell once a day. Uh, and like when they long rest, they can change out one spell. Whereas some of the other classes, they can change out all their spells because they're it's a difference between being a full caster and a part caster, and there's like full caster, three-quarter caster, half caster, quarter caster kind of thing. And so, hey, Roof Llama. And so uh, he's very excited about that. But then the new book it added these dragon marks, which were in the beta test earlier, but he got all excited about these dragon marks, and the dragon marks got changed. And so one of the things with the dragon marks is that they are racially specific, and so D&D, there's a lot of different species of characters you can play, and so there's like, you know, lizard man, fish man, cat man, human, orc, goblin, and gnome, dwarf, elf. And so some of the things are specific to those particular races. And so one of the things in the book, and this is super cheaty. He wants this spell that he sees people using on a D&D show we watch, and because it lets you add to your rolls, and so he wants that spell, and so he can get that for his class, and so he took it. The problem is that if he takes that, he can't get the mending spell, and the mending spell is used to heal his constructs that he wants to make when he gets that far in the game. And so there's a human. He's playing a gnome because it must be his favorite race because he's always playing it. And he totally named his gnome Nomi. Yeah. And so he creates this gnome, um, and then they release the updates, and so he's already not taken the mending spell, but he wants to take the class that makes robots, and so the robots heal with the mending spell, which he could have taken, but he opted for the guidance spell instead. And so he's going to change it so that because it's nobody can force you to follow the rules, and so he believes that he can change any rule he wants any way he wants without discussing it with the rest of us because he's in charge of the game, and so so he has changed this thing from being human only to putting it on his gnome. And even though it duplicates some stuff that he already has with his gnome, he's going to swap that out with something else so that he can get as much added on to his character as possible. I mean, we didn't get any of that for our characters, but for his character, whew, an hour-long discussion about ways he's going to change the rules to make his character more powerful. His character that's supposed to be this is designed for 4 players, you probably need a little extra help. Not, my character's going to be the most powerful character in the group. I honestly didn't read through the class. It's a new class, and I've never played one. And so I'm not even sure if he's playing it correctly, because he did some weird things this week. And I know he doesn't follow the rules well. Alright, so I need to get some glowstone out here, I think, maybe I already have glowstone, to do something about these windows. I think they're too dark. I don't like how it's just black. Yeah, I don't have any glowstone here, so we're gonna run back and get some glowstone. I'll probably put a little bit of glowstone in each of the windows, but I think that's looking pretty good. Like I said, I think I want to put one stripe around. Maybe not. At least on the sides. Uh, I'm at least going to do some stripes on the sides. When I say a stripe, I mean, something like this here. Like, um, maybe not, though. Maybe we'll just be done with those as soon as I get some lights in them. And then we'll move on to probably fixing up that building right there, the outside of it, anyways. So, yeah, I have two more little things I wanted to talk about, real quick before I end the episode for now. One of the things I want to talk about was, man, we were watching through for whatever reason, my family decided we were gonna all sit together and watch the Marvel Avengers movies, starting with the first one and watch it all the way through. Watching movies with them is terrible though because they are. It's not terrible. I'm not saying I don't like to do it. I'm saying there's a lot of bathroom breaks and snack breaks and kids yelling at each other and stuff like that going on most of the time. They were actually pretty good tonight, but most of the time we have to pause the movie. Well, even tonight it was like 7 o'clock, and uh, and they were like, "What did I come back here for?" Glowstone. And they decided that, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll use sea lanterns. They're not as bright, or they are as bright, but they give off a different color light. Let's try sea lanterns. I might like that. Um, and so we were supposed to start at 7 right after dinner. Uh, they're like, "Hey, we're gonna watch the Three Musketeers," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Good to know." Then I'm gonna go. Since we're not watching a movie tonight, I'm gonna go finish the show I was watching. And my sister's like, "Oh, well, we should watch the next Avengers movie." I'm like, all right." And so then my nephew came down like 10 minutes after they said we were gonna watch it, and it was like 40 minutes before anybody else came downstairs. I was like, "That's so ridiculous." Like, what if I had come downstairs and was waiting for them because they said we were gonna watch it right then? 40 minutes? Like, what have you been doing? I don't even get it. But yeah. So we started watching those, and tonight was my least favorite Avengers movie. This is what I want to talk about. I do not like Iron Man 3. I just don't like it. It is. It is dumb, in my opinion. I'm not saying you can't like it. I'm sure someone out there thinks Iron Man 3 is my favorite of the Iron Man movies. What is he talking about? Well, you know what? It's not my cup of tea. I really, really, like, for the longest time, Iron Man 1 was oh, hey, man, I'm trying to do something here. Iron Man 1 was my favorite movie for the longest time. It was my not favorite movie, but my favorite Avengers movie. Um, until Civil War came out, I think, and then Civil War is my favorite one currently. And and so I liked Iron Man 2. I didn't think it was quite as good as Iron Man 1, but I really like uh oh man, what's his name? Mickey Rourke. I really liked his character. I thought that was an awesome character. And so yeah, so like that was, I really liked Iron Man, and then Iron Man 3 comes out, and it's just, to me, it's a train wreck of a movie that doesn't know what it wants to be. There's no there's no cohesive storyline to it. It's all over the place, and then they like just ignore their whole storyline bits here and there. That did not change anything, did it? At all. It is still just black holes of windows. Oh, well, you know what though? It did light up the building. Um, but it didn't brighten the inside of the building, which I guess is hard to do when there's no walls or ceilings or anything. Strangely enough, I can't even. The position of those sea lanterns, I can't even see them. I do like it better with the lights on the inside though, so I'm gonna add lights. Um, so yeah, so we watched that tonight. It just rewatching it again. It's like Tony Stark is having panic attacks because he's got PTSD because he saved the city. Uh, I mean, I assume that's why he has PTSD, but then uh, and then they have the Mandarin, who is an awesome bad guy in the cartoon that I'm familiar with, the Iron Man cartoon, which came out pre Avengers. And I really liked the Mandarin. I thought he was an amazing bad guy. And then he's dumb in this movie, and this is probably my biggest reason why I don't like it. He's dumb in this movie. He's just like a drugged out actor, and it was just so disappointing um, to not have the really awesome Mandarin. And and then my least favorite part is in the middle of the movie, he crashes in Tennessee, and he hangs out with this kid for like ever, and there's no reason for that part of the movie to exist, and it's like 40 minutes of the movie he's hanging out with this kid, and I'm just like, oh, it's wow, it is not my movie, that's for sure. So rewatching it tonight, I'm just like, yep, he's got PTSD for bits of the movie, and then he hangs out with this kid in the kid's garage. Like the kid's mother never shows up and yells about him being in the garage or anything. And wow, that creeper did not even give me a chance to respond. And so yeah, it's a little bizarre of a movie. And oh man, I've only got two left. That's weird because didn't I come? I must not have grabbed very many because I thought I had like 30 something of these things, and I only put a handful out. And so yeah, and then in the middle of the movie, he's having panic attacks, and the kid keeps setting them off, and he's like, "Stop mentioning New York." And then the kid's like, "Well, you're Iron Man. Why don't you just build something?" And that's it. That's the last panic attack he has, and that's like halfway through the movie, and they never mention it again. And I don't know. It was just the bad guy's the bad guy because Tony once said he'd meet him on the roof, and he didn't. That's literally the bad guy's motivation. Tony was mean to him once, so now he's the bad guy. And yeah, and then one of the people's a bad guy because Tony had a one night stand with her once, and I guess hurt her feelings. But yeah, I didn't care for it. And the other thing I want to talk about, and I'll be real quick on this, is the Mandalorian. So I've been watching the Mandalorian, 3 episodes in, and I'm not impressed. It's I jokingly have been referring to it here as the intergalactic bound or babysitter And it's weird to me that you got Boba Fett or um, the Clone Wars. I guess is Boba Fett and his father, and they're pretty vicious people, um, and you got this guy, and he gets a mission, and I'm just like watching this movie, and I'm like, ugh, it's trying too hard to be Star Wars. Like, I get that it's Star Wars, but man, does it have to be on an ice planet again? Does he have to freeze his bounties in carbonite, which is something that was an experiment in The Empire Strikes Back? And this is supposed to be 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so somehow within 6 or 7 years, it's widespread enough that he has an entire sit up on his ship to do this. Uh, like it's weird. And then he rides like the dewback, only it's called a blurg, and it walks on two legs. And he goes to a desert planet, and he fights the Jawas on the desert planet because why try to come up with a new idea? I guess, and it just seems like I don't know what I wanted from it, but it feels like half thought money grab. Um, oh, and then Baby Yoda. Ugh, that's just. I'm sure you've seen it if you use the internet. Baby Yoda ruined the show for me. Uh, I'm like, okay, okay, it's not anything amazing, but at least I got this Boba Fett wannabe who is a bounty hunter. I'm fine with that, I guess. And but man, then they introduce Baby Yoda, and I'm just like, nope, that's it. They are super just trying to make money or whatever off of this. I don't like Baby Yoda. It doesn't fit in. And then like there's a whole episode where he's just trying to get the parts to his ship back, so he can take Baby Yoda in and get his reward. And then he goes in and he gets his reward in the next episode. And then he decides that, oh, you know what? I liked Baby Yoda. Maybe I want to keep him around. And so then he goes back and gets Baby Yoda because Baby Yoda pulled the the stick shift knob off of one of his levers and was gonna put it in its mouth, I guess. And so he took it away and put it back on the lever. And then when he went to use the lever, he's like, "Baby Yoda once used this lever. Oh, he's gonna eat the little balls. So now I've got to go get Baby Yoda because I don't know why. Because this guy doesn't have any kind of reaction to almost anything. Being a man in a helmet and um, having flashbacks about how his parents saved him from the Empire. Like I could get it if he was like doing it to stop the Empire, but the Empire kind of doesn't exist, and he took a job from the Empire, so he doesn't apparently have that big of qualms against the Empire. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre, and it's more cartoony than the Clone Wars cartoon. Not maybe the George Lucas one, but remember the one that was on like Cartoon Network. Um, like that's a more serious show than this Mandalorian show so far. Oh, and the bully Mandalorians like, "You're a coward," blah. And then later they're like, "Oh, he's under attack. We gotta go rescue him because that's the Mandalorian way." Uh, yeah, I'll probably keep watching it, but it is not great like I was expecting it to be. All right, well, I've gone way over, but yeah, I think I'm gonna call these done. For the most part, I do need to get back in and do the parking lot for it. But yeah, three apartment buildings. I think they look nice. With that, click like you like, subscribe, and catch the next one. I will talk to you later.